long race and, really knocks down his PB.
Yeah, he's more known for obviously SMB1 Warpless. He's one of the best players in the world at that, but actually looks like they're getting started here. But yeah, he's actually got a pretty decent time in this game as well. There's about 4 minutes that separates the two, but it's Warpless. Anything can happen, so
Yeah.
as we've seen previously.
Yeah. The RNG gods are a fickle creature.
Absolutely. If you get 3 hands and your opponent gets none, I mean, that's a minute right there. So both runners doing a great job of 1-1 speed strats there. I believe LK did a pipe rub and Nicole did the turn back. So a little bit of difference in route there, but essentially the same thing. And we got 1-2 here. Nicole actually getting the early P speed strat, which is frame rule dependent. Those of you that don't know, P speed is checked every 8 frames, and looks like he timed his jumps correctly. So I think we're actually going to see the waffle jump coming out from Nicole. Unfortunately, he didn't get P speed, but he was practicing this fort prior to the race here. So he actually gets the fast leaf grab. Unfortunately, LK has the slower grab, but is able to get up there. It's much faster to be able to grab the whistle here, so it's good both players are able to get that.
Yeah. Even though this is Warpless, the whistle is faster, but of course they will not be using said whistle in this run. But
yeah, there are some rules in place in the event. One was accidentally used. Player would have to start over and then warp to the beginning of whatever world they were on. So it could happen if someone does a little bit of mismenuing, but hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah. In my case, I always kind of have to sort of remember, don't immediately hit whatever is in your menu.
I worry about sometimes, when you're on the level, your A press might be a little early or something. I hit B right away after that, so.
So, you see they get their P speed strats. LK gets Superman, nicely done. So does the Cole on their first tries. Nice.
Yeah, this is honestly my least favorite stage in the entire game. I really hate that stage.
1-6. Yeah. It does seem to be fairly random as far as whether that P speed strat works or not first try.
Yeah, it has to do with when the P speed check occurs. If it occurs over that gap, then you start to lose P speed. So your jumps affect it. As far as how or what kind of jumps you do on the platforms. It seems like if you do perfect end of platform jumps, you actually don't get P speed there because the check happens too early.
That's the way it works.
Yeah, great stuff, man. Just, classic SMB3 mechanics.
Why we love the game.
Both runners here are going to grab fire on the airship. It is worth noting you could potentially grab it on the Hammer Bro in this world, but there are only a couple squares where the Hammer Bro will have a fire flower. One which does not apply in Warpless because it never gets to that spot, and then for both runners, unfortunately, it didn't go to the other spot. So
good fire kill by the Cole. LK looks like he's gonna jump, which is a little slower, but definitely safer.
Yeah. I think the Cole missed a couple fireballs, so it wasn't that much faster. He didn't lose too much time there, fortunately. So
about 10-second difference between the runners going into World 2. Solid play overall. The Cole getting the main difference being, I suppose, 1 fort. Otherwise, they were fairly even through World 1.
Yeah, pretty much. It is worth noting, I think their timers are offset by like a second too, so.
Yeah. That aside, Cole using P-Speed strats for 2-1, so is LK. And LK missed the jump there, but still gonna have an easy go of it.
I'm honestly generally pretty happy, even if I don't get the P-Speed strat, which sometimes it happens. As long as I don't lose the flower.
Yeah.
because you don't want to lose it before the fourth in this world. That's really where the time save is of having the flower. So
Yeah, and Cole was having a little trouble with momentum on the moving platforms. Took him a couple of tries to kind of get through it, but finally gets his wind under his legs and does a fine job. And the Cole also getting a good hammer bro placement.
gets a fairly early P speed there too in this fort. It is worth noting in 2-2 there, based on how much forward momentum you get, the jumps change. So it can be kind of interesting if for new runners trying to learn that stage anyway.
Cole almost to our first boom fight. LK about 2 rooms behind him. So, but yeah, the Cole has the good hammer bro pattern. He's got the music box bro way out in front, which means he'll only have to deal with 1 hammer bro in this level. And that's what you want to have
for skipping the music box, bro. Of course, if you want a chance at an early hammer, not the best pattern, but generally speaking, that happens once in a blue moon. So
yeah, it's like a 2 or 3% chance or something. I think I heard.
Yeah.
I think I heard once.
Yeah, it's not very much. I've been lucky lately. I've had a few of them, but yeah, it usually goes long periods of time between. The Cole entering the sun stage here. As a kid, this was the bane of a lot of people's existence. This is actually a fairly simple level for these top level speedrunners, just because the sun always stays in the same position on the screen. So when it comes down, the first inclination is to move backwards, but the sun's position doesn't actually change on the screen, even though the screen scrolls. So you actually want to continue going forward and jumps.
Right. The only thing that changes is when he decides to make his first dive. That's somewhat random, but otherwise, it's pretty. The hammer pros for LK are moving around, so we might have to go for both of them anyways. No.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
He's doing 2.5, whereas the Cole did 2.4, so it's really kind of a wash as far as which level is faster. And 2.4 is probably a little faster, but it's a little harder too.
Yeah, I think it's a couple seconds faster, but as you mentioned, it is a bit harder. But it is worth noting the fastest speed strat in that level isn't RNG based, like it is in 2.5, where those chomps unfortunately can get in your way sometimes when you're trying to get it.
So Cole on his hammer bro before going to the airship. LK had to deal with both of them in a forced encounter. It's unfortunate, but he'll get an extra music box, which can be advantageous if he gets everything he needs. He could skip Hammer Bros in World 5, or even World 6 conceivably. And of course, you want to use one in World 7 for the Piranha at the end.
Yeah, honestly, it's not the worst. You generally end up having to use one between World 4 and 5 and having to fight the Music Box Bro in 5 anyway, so the only time it might come into play is if he still has to fight that Music Box Bro in 5, which could happen.
Yeah. So
yeah, it looks like the Cole's probably going to re-grab a Fire Flower here. I don't expect a Fire Kill coming out from him because he had to kind of go out of his way to grab that Hammer Bro. So I actually expect Morton to do a jumping pattern here.
Yeah. And even if he didn't, Morton is one of the harder Fire Kills anyways because he starts at a higher position than you to begin with.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, in my opinion, the hardest.
Yeah, because I don't think any of the other Koopa kids started at a higher position than you. They all either start level or they start below you, like with Iggy.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So, yeah, I'm sure he won't mind taking a few shots at him, but it's just safer this way. So good World 2.
Yep. Yeah, he actually got a pattern he could have fire killed there, but it's hard to know when you have to go out of your way to fight those bros sometimes.
So 942 wand grab for the Cole. LK is going to be about 35 seconds behind, give or take.
So yeah, it's worth noting that how you know the patterns of the Koopa kids is they're determined by the length and time between you finishing the last stage of the world and entering the pipe on the airship. If you fight a Hammer Bro in between that, that does change the time because Hammer Bros aren't considered a stage when it comes to determining boss patterns. So most worlds, there's only a couple different patterns you have to learn. Unfortunately, in World 2, there's several because of the potential for those bros. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that also adds to the difficulty of that one.
So World 3 underway now, and this is really the first place where you start to see the really good runners sort of separate themselves from the good runner.
Yeah,
3-2 and
absolutely.
3-2 is almost Exhibit A.
Yeah, you pretty much feel good about making out a 3-2 with a Fire Flower if you can do it. I'm sure he's going to be happy with that.
Yeah, didn't go for the P speed strats early, but managed to survive his little dip in the pool and didn't get cheated by those ridiculous hitboxes from the cheaps.
Yeah, it is worth noting there is a speed strat in 3-2 here with P speed, but it's kind of difficult to get in the beginning there.
Nice P speed strats by the Cole in 3-3.
And he didn't pipe rub on the entry, so he actually maintained it out of the pipe too. Good stuff.
So about a one-stage difference. Now, one thing you're going to be watching here is that Hammer Bro on the far right. Do not want him to go to the screen transition because that's going to screw up their ability to do this world optimally. And it's a little dicey right now for the Cole. He's sitting at the very top right spot.
It's worth noting LK now has to pay attention to his points because he has a multiple of 11 of coins, so potentially he could turn one of these Hammer Bros into a coin ship, which you don't want. It turns it into a long auto scroller, and you lose about a minute having to do it. So, if his tens digit of his points matches the multiple that he has of 11 of coins, in this case, if it was a 40, he would turn one into a coin ship.
So far, he should be okay. Just got to watch those blocks. Ooh, LK gets a bad pattern here with oh boy.
Okay. He needs to hit a block. Nice. Okay. Okay.
So the Cole taking care of the far right Hammer Bro first, just to prevent him from making a run, and the Cole LK, is didn't get the optimized P speed strat. So yeah, so what the Cole did, for those of you not familiar, is he took out both of the Hammer Bros and 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 3-4, and 4 to get those bridges to line up, so he can just use his cloud over 3-6 and go straight down to 3-8. The LK, unfortunately, will not have that go for him, so he has to take an intentional death here. And now he's got to hope that Hammer Bro doesn't come back. He came back. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, lucky him.
Yeah, but he got in his way, so he's gonna have to fight him. Honestly, in that case, it's potentially worth just doing the auto scroller and not taking the death if you're gonna end up, there's a good chance he's gonna have to fight that bro anyway. Higher chance he'd have to fight him than not. Allows you to save a cloud, and then you can potentially use that on a stage later in the game.
Yeah. And there are some pretty long levels that he could skip. Yep, there it is. Oh.
Yeah. For me, I think 8 Ford is the longest level in the game from this point, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
It's pretty long, but it also could allow him to do a couple of other combos. Like for example, he could do a 7-9-7-4-2 and music box skip and just take a lot and take out a good solid 3 minutes in a row. Maybe not that long, but at least two minutes.
Yeah, that one's a little safer too, because if you end up taking damage in 8-1 or 8-2, the only place you can get another flower is the fort. So
right. So nice. So the Cole having no problem so far. He's set up nicely for a fire kill on Wendy, who's probably the easiest of the fire kills, because it's a flat arena.
yeah, LK is gonna have to stomp her, which can be a little tricky. So he's gonna grab this mushroom. He's gonna need it as an insurance policy, and he's really gonna hope to not take any more damage here.
It's all about timing more than anything with Wendy as she prepares to land. But
yeah, exactly.
Once you get a handle on it, it's actually not that bad. Oh, and it's 16:02, I think, for the Cole for his wand grab for Wendy.
Yeah, that's a pretty good time. For him, that's, on a PB pace caliber time too, so it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So in World 4, we see the direction the bros turn after movement comes back into play, so we can actually determine what bros have what items based on the direction they turn after they finish their movement.
Okay.
And that was just discovered, I think, earlier this year. It was like a viewer in Mitch's stream that actually found that little trick there. So nice new tech coming in this tournament.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I should mention that the bro with the P-wing turns right after movement. I believe so does the cloud, and then the star in this world actually turns left.
Right. What's key here is the first hammer bro that we're going to see as we go into 4-1. That's the cloud bro. That's the one you absolutely need.
Yep.
Oh, and it was Stewie Cartman, apparently, who's taking credit for said discovery, I believe, and about that little development. 4-3.
Yeah, okay, Stewie. Okay, Stewie.
And 4-3, every speedrunner's favorite level, I think.
Yeah, most people's for sure. It looks very cool when you're able to pull off the strat. Had a little trouble there at the end, but didn't lose his fire flower and didn't die. Those are really two keys there.
Yeah. LK kind of stuttered a little in transition, but gets a nice finish to 4-2. The Cole using a hammer to skip 4F1. Now on his way to 4-4. Okay, using a star to help him with his P-speed stretch, which is a good idea. Because if you can utilize these, this saves a lot of time compared to just doing this normally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you have a little trouble with those hammer bros, avoiding them, then a star is a pretty good alternative.
Yeah. So the Cole got his cloud, and he's using the music box to say goodbye to the other two. He's not interested.
Yeah, it's actually worth noting he probably would have skipped the star bro and just fought the P-wing bro there. I'm not sure if he knew which one was which, though. And both made it through 4-4 without taking damage, which is very good. That stage can be tricky for a lot of people. I hear a lot of people complaining about it. But honestly, once you figure out something that works, as long as you do the same thing every time, it's not an issue.
Right.
Because, the Lakitus will do the same thing every time as well. People have trouble getting sniped by that upper Lakitu a lot, but
Yeah.
so that Lakitu is so high up, but he actually throws the spiny a lot sooner than you anticipate. So one of the things I do, if I don't get P speed on that upper section, is I do a turn back, and that spiny will always sail way over.
Yeah. So the Cole only had to deal with one Hammer Bro. He got a good movement on the Hammer Bros after he finished 4F2. So that's a nice little time save, especially if he doesn't think he needs the P-Wing, which is possible. LK went through all 3 of the Hammer Bros, so he's got an extra P-Wing and Star at his disposal.
Yeah, and he has an extra music box too, right? So he'll be able to use that in World 5 if he so chooses.
Right, so he's got a decent arsenal of items here. See if he can utilize them in such a way to help him trim some of the time gap between him and the Cole, because the Cole is got about at least a 90-second advantage on him right now, I'd say. Maybe more.
Yeah, and of course they're both going to be on, what I consider the worst stage in the entire game. This is the slowest moving auto-scroller in the game. It's not the longest stage, it's the second longest stage. The World 7 airship's actually longer, but it's also a much longer stage.
Yeah, and this is just one of those things you just kind of have to deal with. I mean, it's not very difficult, but it is unfortunately tedious, and I'm not sure why they had to make this so slow.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It's worth noting we see both players correcting their coin counts, because in World 5, coin chips come back into play again, so you can only get coin chips in Worlds 1, 3, 5, and 6. The only worlds in Warpless that it really matters in are 3, 5, and 6, because in 1, the points in the coins just never seem to add up. Ooh, unfortunately, I think LK was AFK there, taking some damage. You really have to keep paying attention on these airships, or stuff like that can happen. So
Yeah. So about a 2230 for the Cole on the wand grab. So he's in pretty solid shape in terms of time as we go into 5-1.
yeah, he's actually potentially on a PB pace. So good stuff.
Yeah, nice. PBs and
Yeah, he can
race.
definitely. Yeah, PB in a race would be pretty sick. I know he's been close to one for a while.
Yeah, and I did one yesterday, so it's a nice feeling.
Oh, you got a PB? Nice. What'd you get?
5809.
Ah, congrats. I know it wasn't too long ago. You were still just a little over an hour, so
Yeah.
knocked off quite a bit of time.
Yeah, I beat mine by 75 seconds.
Very nice.
It was one of those things where it's like kind of sitting around the edges. It's like it's coming. You can kind of feel it, and you can kind of see it mentally. It's a question of really putting it all together.
Yep. Oh, unfortunately, the bros switch on him there, and he does need the P-Wing, so he's probably going to end up fighting both of them unless they switch again, and he gets lucky, which could happen. Seen it happen before.
So about 2350 wand grab for LK, so an 80-second gap between the runners at the relative halfway point.
Yeah, as Stewie mentioned, as LK is doing 5-1 here, there is actually a P-speed strat on this stage that you can do, but I think Mitch is the only person in the world that tries it, so...
Yeah.
Mitch
isn't here in disguise as one of these runners, is he?
No, I don't think so.
Well, it was a thought.
Worth noting that both of them skipped the Pit of Despair there in 5-2, which is very important. It's actually faster if you end up going down there to take a death and redo the stage and try to get this upper section. And it's much safer too.
Little swag there from LK431, kind of doing a backwards dash at the end of the 5-2.
Yeah. The nice little backward swag.
Yeah. Little moonwalking from Mario. Who knew? Looks like LK's gonna have to deal with both of these Hammer Bros, or not. Oh, he's gonna use a star.
Yeah, he's got 2 music boxes, so if he remembers, he can use it here.
Cole, mindful of his coin count, he's at 86.
Yeah, actually, really not the number you want here, but his point total looks good, so I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is, unless you side jump into that pipe, you're going to get 2 coins here for sure.
Right. Okay, yeah. So, ooh. LK taking a hit, but he's going to get mushroom.
Yeah, it was actually smart to grab the item first, or and then go grab the upgrade, because those Hammer Bros stages are set to end a specific amount of time after you grab the item. So if you grab an upgrade afterwards, it's going to end at the same time, regardless.
So, good 5-5 from the Cole LK going into the tower level.
Yeah, I think he'll probably wait this one out. Yeah. Nope. Just unfortunately clipped. Level can be kind of scary if you're not able to get P-speed through that first pipe. We also see the Cole re-grabbing his fire here in 5-7. It's one of 2 stages where he can do that in this world, other than the airship, of course.
Right.
And then, yeah, he has to chase down this bro because he did use his music box. So he ended up fighting all 3 bros, I think, in this world.
Yeah. So it kind of it mildly offsets what he did in World 4, but the music box, at least in this case, is a necessity because he's going to need it for World 7.
Yeah.
Nice P-speed strats from the Cole in 5F2, which can be a little tricky because the platforming can get you if you're not familiar with it, or even if you are. It's a lot of weird jumps, weird angles.
Yeah, it's worth noting there's also a clip in the beginning of that stage that you can get that saves some time, but if you don't get it, you die. And Svene, the insane person that he is, actually went for it in his race and got it, so...
Well... Go big or go home.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, no. So he can skip that. It's not the biggest problem. So hopefully it moves up here and then he'll be home free, but yeah, that could be bad if that gets in his way after this level.
Yeah, that is not good. And it's a superfluous Hammer Bro 2 because he has the 2 music boxes. So, okay.
Nice.
Thankfully,
we haven't had one of those yet, or we've had a few that have spawned, but none of them have been played yet, so thankfully.
Yeah.
Skipping another one there.
I almost had that happen to me in my race yesterday. I had in 5-5 actually. It's like, oh, I saw the count. It's like, uh-oh. So had to stop for making like a 2-second pit stop and hit a block to get my number away from the in the tens count. Otherwise, I'd have been done.
Yeah, it's worth noting if you leave the bros alive down below, you'll never have to worry about coin chips in this upper section because I think it prioritizes the P-Wing bro first, but if you kill the P-Wing bro, then I think it goes to that music box bro.
Yeah. So, Roy, one of 2 Koopas with the ability to do a little boom shake, but pretty simple once you get the pattern down. So, 30 flat
Yeah.
for the Cole out of World 5.
Yeah, it's quite a good time. He's still on that really good pace there. And yeah, as you mentioned with Roy, he's the first of the 2 that have that little extra boom in their step. Ludwig at the end of World 7 also does. I call them the thick boys.
Yep.
Because they do not jump very high. And yeah, they stun you.
If they stun you, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
it is worth noting you can fire kill Roy. It does require a Hammer Bro movement of 1 and good menuing before the airship. You don't see a lot of people going for it, though. I think Mitch is really the only person that I see going for it in races. It's actually not too tough of a pattern, but it's hard to be able to recognize that. Again, you have to be able to recognize what you're going to get before you get it.
So Cole using a damage boost in 6F1 to cross that spike platform. Now he's going to get a star to do a quick kill on Boom Boom. It's the only fort in the game where you can actually do that. Really good World 5 from LK. He only lost about 8 seconds compared to Cole. So, still about 90 seconds behind, but did very good job trying to keep pace with him.
Yeah, and he kept his fire too, so he'll be able to do that nice little speed strat there in this first fort. Oof, the Cole having some trouble with that.
It was a coin count. It was a coin count thing. I think he was at 11 coins, and he realized that because of the numbers.
Oh yeah, it's true.
So
yeah, in that case, evens would cause a coin ship, and odds he'd be fine. But yeah, you don't want to chance that.
No, so very good heads-up play by the Cole, saving himself about a minute time sink. But it did slow him down just a touch in 6-4, but P-Wings his way through 6-5 and used a little...
He does get the Nipper despawn there, which we take advantage of on that stage. So there's only a certain number of objects that can spawn on the screen at once. And if you're able to get to the left or the right, I mean fast enough with enough objects on the screen, you'll despawn it.
Ooh, Cole, I think, was hoping that was going to be the Cloud Bro, because he skipped the first Bro to get to the second one, but it didn't quite work out. So we had to an extra Hammer Bro for him. Not a big thing, though. An extra star could come in handy.
Yeah, it's important to know your bros and which way they turn after movement. It can really save you a lot of time in this run.
And if it had been the... Ooh! Goes right through the gap there. Ouch.
Oh, no!
Uh-oh.
LK using a warp whistle. So, yeah, he's got to go back to the beginning here.
Whoops. That's bad. That is very, very bad. So that means he's gonna have he's got a hammer.
I think I cursed the runners. Oh my god.
I think we both
about it earlier.
I think we both did. So yeah. That's well. So, all things considered, it could be worse. I mean, he gets his hammer back, so he doesn't have to play 6-1 and 6-3. Good. So meanwhile, the Cole recovered from his 6F2 hiccup. Ooh!
Ran out of
LK
iframes.
gets dinged at the very last second.
Now, I don't actually recall because I've never done this, but did the bro with the hammer respawn since he went back to World 6?
Yes.
Okay, so then he's fine. He won't have to play any extra stages. That's good at least.
Right, he won't have to play 6, 7 or anything like that. Hammer, but okay, so take 2 for the LK gets it this time. Nicely done. So yeah, so he's about a half a world behind right now, maybe a little bit more on the Cole, who's in 6F3.
Yeah, it's honestly in these races, you're really worried about using that warp whistle on accident. It's worth taking just a little extra time with your menuing just to make sure you use the right item, because if you don't, it could be disastrous.
Yeah. Like I said, that's something I've always been kind of cognizant of. In general, it's like, okay, it's worth the extra like half a second just so you don't screw it up. Especially as you get later and later into the race.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the Cole here entering the airship. Important for him here to maintain his upgrade because he's going to need that in order to clip in the 7-1. And as I mentioned, every time I do commentary, you can still clip in that stage as Small Mario, but you got to do it through the pipe, and it requires P speed, and it's much harder.
But so the Cole underway in the airship. LK got a good despawn with Nipper despawn in 6-5 and got the optimal pattern with the hammer bros, excuse me. So he only had to fight 2 of them. So 6F2, and he's got a couple of clouds still to play with. So 7-4 and 7F2. So he should be fine there. Or presumably 7F2, I don't know. Maybe he'll surprise us all and skip 7-9 or something.
Yeah, it's actually fortunate where the warp whistle did occur because he didn't lose any items.
Cole grabs the wand at 37-37. Had a setback with the death in 6F2, but otherwise a pretty... And he had that slowdown in 6-4 because of the potential coin ship. So get your guesses in. How many jumps is it going to take for 7-1 for the Cole?
I say first try every time. I'm never right, but I'm going with first try again.
Say fourth. I was close. Okay, we'll have to be a little more preemptive for LK. Was third try. We'll give that to you, Rump Buns. Okay, so...
Yeah, I think with no hands, he's still on PB pace, even with that death. The death was kind of bad, just, it's not a stage you really want to take a death on, but...
Yeah. Gets, gets clipped on, 7F, on the, Piranha and 7-2 there at the end, but nicely done. Yeah, so good to see the Cole holding serve spite of the death. Seven three.
Yeah.
This is one of those stages I really need to learn like the optimized speed strats for. It's really a lot of fun to see this level zoomed
Yeah.
through.
It's not that bad, honestly. It looks more difficult than it is. It's actually a fairly free stage.
Yeah. I tend to go for the stars because I'm a chicken, but
Yeah, I mean, if you're small Mario, it's not the worst decision, to be honest. You know, when you have that upgrade, it's generally okay to go for it just because you do have that extra little protection there.
to the surprise of nobody, hand used on 7-4 uses P-Wing here for 7F1, which is one of 2 stages in the game where you must have flying ability to complete the level, the other being 6-5. Alright, so get your guesses in for LK. How many jumps is it going to take for LK to make the clip in 7-1?
Yeah, someone's asking about the differences between the this version and the All-Star version. Are you familiar with the All-Star version? I'm not super familiar with it, but I do know a few of the differences.
It's a little slower. That's the main thing. I mean, in terms of just general principles, there isn't a whole lot of difference, but it is slower because of entering levels and that kind of thing, you know. And the one advantage it might have is it's easier to do like spam with like fireballs and stuff because you can use 2 buttons. So fire kills might be a little easier, and there's less lag, but overall the NES version is fast.
Yeah, you have like this Mario start animation at the beginning of every stage, and that adds up over the course of a run.
Alright.
We can't use any of the despawn tactics either in that version because it just doesn't work the same way.
Third try for LK, who grabbed the wand at 40-48. So he's the Cole using his cloud on 7-9. So going into 7F2.
That is the faster, generally the faster thing to do.
Who?
That was so close.
I don't blame. I think it took like a second or two just to kind of get his bearings again. It's like I don't blame him. Like, man, I would too after something like that.
Yeah, so 7-9 is faster if you do the clips and can get the clips, I think, within a certain number of tries. Definitely if you got them each first try, it'd be faster, but I think it's faster if you get them within 8 total tries.
Mm-hmm. So he's going to use his last music box to skip the piranha. So, but he's going to have to get both item box 7 airship, get back to Fire Mario because he wants Fire Mario for the first half of World 8.
Yeah, it's worth noting there are 2 upgrades on this airship. It's I think there's only one other airship with 2 upgrades. I think it's World 4 as well.
Yeah, you never see the second one though because you're usually in the pipe by the time it shows up.
Yep. But both the upgrades on this airship are actually fire flowers, so very fortunate. It's like they knew, yeah, you're gonna want fire for World 8.
Yeah. So I just saw LK's got actually 2 more P-Wings because he just used his first of 3, so he can P-Wing another level. 8-1 perhaps if he's not really all that comfortable with it, or...
Yeah, I think he did P-Wing 8-1 in his last race, if I recall.
Oh. But yeah, 7-6, 7F1 and 7-6 are gimmies as far as P-Wings. So LK...
So, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Say LK on his way to the Eastern Island. The Cole is about 2/3 of the way through the World 7 airship.
I just wanted to mention, so you notice the rocky wrenches there were despawned for the Cole just because of the number of objects on the screen. In the All-Stars version, those would both be there.
Yeah. So, no hammer suit for LK. He's gonna ride this through, and good pattern with the fire nippers. Lucky him.
Yeah. Nobody getting in on those hammer strats, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's that easy Bowser kill.
Okay, so he's using his final P-Wing on 7-9. About 44-52 wand grab for the Cole. His PB is 54-32, so yeah, it's in range. He is in range. He needs no hands, but it is possible.
Yeah, his time's really good right now. Hoping for no hands for him, and yeah, then it eventually is PB.
Okay, so now we're going to do this time-honored tradition as we enter World 8. How many hands between the two runners in World 8?
So yeah, you want to guess the total number of hands between the two runners, and note that they can end up playing extra hands if they take a death, either in a hand or the fast airship, but I have a hard time believing we'll see that at this point in the tournament, so...
Yeah. If it's going to happen anywhere, it'll happen in Air Force just because of a mistimed jump or something. Because
yeah, exactly.
Because that auto-scrolling is twice as fast as your average auto-scroller, so if you kind of get a little flummoxed with all of the Hammer Bros and their wrenches, it can happen, but it would take a lot. So, get your guesses in if you haven't already. Potentially, it's anywhere from 0 to 6, but again, if somebody dies and has to do it again on a hand stage and has to do it again, it is possible, but I'm going to say 2, 1 for each.
Yeah, I went with 2.
Cole gets rid of the hammer bro before he can get that wrench, the boomerang bro, before he can get his shot off, so that saves a couple of seconds.
Yep. Sockless or rangless.
Yeah. So, LK, my least favorite jump in the game, with I do the long jump. I just leap from one end to the third platform every time.
Look, there I focus on nothing but on the screen but the corkscrews. I just look at the corkscrews so I know exactly when I land, but I don't do the super long jump. I land on the middle one.
Yeah. So 47-49 grab for LK, who, God help us, he even has a shot at a PB.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
Unless you got a PB recently and we don't know about it, but according to speedrun.com, his PB is 58-29. So all he has to do is do a sub 11 minute World 8 and he's got it.
Yeah, they no hands would probably do it.
Yeah. Speaking of hands, the Cole has just finished the Navy stage. So get your guesses in if you haven't already, because it stops as soon as we get to that screen. There it is. Okay, one hand for the Cole. If you're going to get a hand, that's the one to get, just because it's the shortest and the easiest.
Yeah, this hand is honestly a joke.
Yeah. So a free raccoon leaf, if he so needs it, it's unlikely, but... Oh. Ouch.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, the PB dream just got a little tougher. this hand isn't so bad either. You can actually re-grab a fire flower here if you lost it. And honestly, in a race, it's not so bad getting at least one hand. In the event you do take an unfortunate death somewhere, you always have that upgrade in your inventory.
Right. Yeah, you can use it to damage boost in 8-1 if you really need to, or in 8-4 if you don't have a star handy. Use that as a damage boost to get your fire flower back early on.
Yeah.
LK finishes the tank's level, as the Cole is an Air Force.
So yeah, I didn't mention this on the Navy earlier, but that coin block down there actually does house a fire flower. We generally don't see it grabbed in this category unless, you know, someone needs the upgrade. Usually they don't, just because there's so many on World 7 airship. But in the no wrong warp category, that's actually where you grab the fire flower in World 8, and it's kind of a tricky grab to get.
So he's out of the Air Force on his way to the third section of this world. He's using a star here in 8-1.
I just realized LK can't actually PB because he ended up using a warp whistle too.
Oh, well. That's true, yeah. Would be ironic. It was of no benefit to him, and he still PB'd.
Yeah, he actually lost time using it, and he can't PB in the category because he used it. Sad day.
So you almost want to give him a mulligan because he screws himself and he still gets a PB. Oh.
Yep. So yeah, the Cole taking some damage there, unfortunately, so it makes this stage a little more tricky to run through quick. You can damage boost through those piranha plants and maintain your P speed to the end, but the thing is, I'm not sure if that's faster, because then you have to grab 2 upgrades in the fort.
Yeah. So LK got grabbed by the first hand, so we've seen all 3 hands.
Yeah, you get grabbed by the first hand 99.99% of the time. Oh no.
Oh boy. Going for the triple. So that's 4 hands. Goo just gets in at the wire. Okay, so potentially 4 hands. We'll have to wait and see if he dies here. And we don't want to jinx him, of course. I just did, but you get the idea. So, but yeah, 4 looks like the number today. So
yeah, unfortunately, the Cole's not going to be able to PB, but this is still going to be a very good run.
Yeah, it's going to be in the 55-ish range, probably 55-30. I don't know what the name of that is, but he's using Oglib's.
The patented Day 1 affiliate Oglib Super Tank Strat with a Vengeance TM.
That's the one. Yes, LK taking an unfortunate hit to a wrench bro in the Air Force, so no fire kill for Boom Boom, but
yeah, not a big deal for him. He, as I mentioned earlier, I believe he P-Wings 8-1 anyway, so
right.
He was going to have to lose his fire flower here.
I think he's out of P-Wings, though.
Oh, okay.
He used his last P-Wing in 7-9.
Oh, okay. It is worth noting he could have re-grabbed fire here, opting not to do that.
Gonna... Oof. Taking his time there.
Yeah, making sure these bills don't sneak up on him and damage him here.
So, home stretch for the Cole.
Hits his head on the ceiling there, so he opts not to go for the clip.
That's the waffles pass before going on to oof. LK doing a little bit of a dance there. Does not get the
Son, please. Please, son, please.
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
my goodness.
That's quite a tango. 35 fireballs gets rid of Bowser. Ooh.
Oh, unfortunate there. Just slightly mistimed his duck and run back.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh, it's worse than you think.
Yeah, this is he got the worst Bowser pattern for trying to fire kill. He got that quick jump pattern, which is a little spooky. Again, something you don't worry about with a hammer suit.
Yes. Well, neither of them took the free hammer suit at 6-5 after 6-5. So one more jump and that is it. Right.
And yeah, we at least got to see Bowser's hitbox there. It's only his head that can damage you, so using that to his advantage there.
Nice jump by LK going to the top of the super tanks. So Cole finishes with an official SRL time of 56 minutes, 13 seconds. So GG.
Yeah, it was a really good run. Unfortunate ending for him, but
Yeah.
Oh well.
It's like, till the hands showed up, yeah, he was within range, and then that happened, and then, you know, Bowser happened. It's like, ew.
Yep. That's just, that's Warpless though, man.
And yeah, LK, I know he's ineligible, but look at that time, and his PB is 58.29.
Yeah, it's so close.
I suppose it's comforting in some sense that, you know, he does this again without the warp whistle shenanigans. Nice clip there by LK. Saves about 2 seconds. Flip to the one-up clip. Nicely done. First try.
Yeah, the most electrifying clip in sports entertainment. And we're joined by the Cole. How's it going, man?
Not good. Not really good. That finish was definitely something, man. Oh my god.
Looks like
Bowser wanted you, man. He gave you that quick jump.
Nah, that was horrible, man. The RNG wasn't that great.
Yeah.
And I mean, I got 2 extra Mel Brothers. I got almost the runaway Mel Brother. I had to. I mean, but I really, really will there to sacrifice 10 seconds just to avoid that pattern.
Oh.
Yeah, so LK actually did get run away, bro, and he accidentally used a warp whistle as well.
Ooh, wow.
And he would have PB'd by about 2 minutes if he hadn't.
So I would have lost. Oh, damn. I would have lost.
Nah, you would have won. Nah, you would have still won. You had him.
Yeah, consider that actually the LK, I don't know if he forgot to submit to Speed Gaming, but he actually has a PB of 55 below 5, if I'm not mistaken, so...
Oh, okay.
But I'm not sure if probably... I apologize with the LK if he really wasn't... if he really desired to make this a secret for some reason, I don't know. Because he never submitted that, but of course, I mean, I watched a couple of runs and I see that thing. Oh, okay. So actually, the race was kind of thing. But I mean, I cannot say that was a bad run. I mean, my execution was on point most of the levels. So
Yeah, you were on PB pace, you know, even going into World 8. I think you might have been able to PB with one hand even, but definitely with no hands you could have PB'd.
Yeah.
But with one hand and Flawless 8-1 and Flavorless Bowser, yes, that would have been.
Yeah.
And because my PB actually had one hand, but I completely messed up 8-1. Also the castle, if I'm not mistaken. I missed the early
okay.
peace cycle, and so basically my PB had one hand, and so I could have probably PB with just one hand. I could have PB probably with 0 for sure. But I mean, I have nothing really to say. I actually at some point, I don't know if you noticed, but I had to use to stop in 6-4 because
Yeah.
Yep.
I had 11 coins and the digit was 1. So
Yep.
oh my god,
Yeah.
I need to find a coin. Where the hell is my coin?
Yeah,
Please
it's
give me
like
my coin.
I saw that because I saw you had stopped, and then I looked at then I saw the coins like it was 11, and I saw the 10 digits like, oh yeah, it's like yeah, it's like that was heads up for you. Actually, LK actually got a coin ship in World 5, but he lucked out with the movement, so he was able to avoid that because he got it he got the coin ship after 5-5, but was able to bypass it.
Oh, okay. Actually,
yeah, so you got lucky there.
My first race had a coin ship in World 5, but I didn't manage to avoid that. So nothing to say about this round. That was a good run for me for my level.
You actually had like a crazy death in 6-4 too.
That was
well,
really. That was
I don't
really
think I've ever
stupid.
seen that.
That was
Dude,
really
I've
stupid.
never seen that in my life. Like what?
That was
like you just had the perfect jump right into the hole.
Yeah, there's a 2 pixel, I mean 3 pixel space, and you actually have to land exactly there, because if you land just a little bit on the left, you can just jump over it, and if you jump off a little bit on the right, you can still make to the block, no problem. But that was actually, you know what? I was practicing that level before the race, and I actually thought, oh my god, imagine if I lose a race or a PB because I fall down into that lonely space and I cannot say. And yeah, that was really upsetting because I mean, after all, I was really satisfied with my run. But I did not done anything really wrong. And now I don't remember, but I lost the 5 flower to the Angry Sun, but that's marginal. And I lost the 5 flower in 5-5 trying to get an unlikely P-speed. But that's not a big mistake. I mean, 5, 6, 7 seconds. So it's not bad. And that death cost me 30 seconds. And then luckily I had
the only major issues were the losing a Fire Flower in Bowser's Castle and then that death, and otherwise that was a really clean run. Is there anything you're going to be working on between now and your next race?
Bowser fight, maybe. That's for sure. That's for sure. I think I'm gonna practice Bowser Castle. I think I'm gonna practice back 8-1 because I cannot do that level of cleaning run bar race. I can't do that level perfectly 5-6 times in a row in practice. Then when it comes the moment of strat, I mess up. But this time at least I didn't mess up in a very problematic way, because I managed to recover up pretty quickly, apart from the 5 flower loss, but that's not a big issue. So yeah, apart from that, and that was a good run, and so I'm looking forward for the next race. It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it looks like you're going to be playing the winner of Calco and Svene, so that one needs to be played yet. Calco obviously is one of the best runners in the world at this game. Didn't really have the kind of race that I'm sure he wanted the last time out, so it'll be interesting to see how he bounces back. Any thoughts on that one?
I want to win that because I really want to face Louis. Because I really would like to face another Italian speedrunner. That would be great. So I really will try my best. According to my work schedule, next week's gonna be tough. So I'm not sure how much time I will have to practice. Actually, not much, but I will do my best. And
Yeah.
I'm already satisfied right now with the tournament. Some clean runs, just ruined by unfortunate events here and there. And very isolate death, bad RNG and such. But my execution on race was really great. So, nothing to say. I have no regrets. If I lost, the Bowser fight was bad. And I lost because of that. I would have deserved it. And because you cannot really fail the Bowser fight if you want to go far in a tournament. That's the mistake that you cannot really afford to do. But rest was was okay. So I see. Unfortunately, LK got opened the warp whistle by accident. That was unfortunate. It happens.
Yeah, GG, man. It was a great run, and really great run from LK too. Actually, even with the little mishap there with the warp whistle. Unfortunately, his run in the tournament ends, but it was great watching him perform this tournament. There's actually another race later tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern between Brocious 420 and Kerbosin. For those of you looking for the next race here. And then on Tuesday, there is another race between Lasso 42 and Cujo. And that is the semifinals of the upper bracket, so that has potential to be a very good race. Lasso has performed really well so far to this point, actually knocking out Horstad in very dramatic fashion the last time out. So
I haven't watched the race.
Looking forward to seeing that one.
I can ask what happened to Horstad, because I lost. I missed it.
So, you know how we say it's not over till you kill Bowser? Well, he took damage on Bowser, and he ended up dying on Bowser because he had the fast Bowser jump like you did. And, as I keep mentioning, not an issue if you have a hammer suit. So,
oh my god.
yeah, unfortunately, got taken out there because of that. But we'll get to see him in the lower brackets still. And I anticipate he's probably going to do pretty well.
On the other side of the loser brackets, so I'm not going to face him again.
It looks like Horstad's going to draw, just based on the way the brackets are looking right now. He's probably going to draw Stewie Cartman for his next match. So that'll be a good one.
Yeah.
But a lot of games.
Luckily for me. There are a lot of very scary players on my side, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody left is good now, I think, pretty much.
Yeah.
So in terms of what's coming up next on this channel, guys, a link to the past randomizer OWG will be next, and then followed by, and that'll be 11:30 Eastern start time, followed by Super Metroid. That'll be a 2 Eastern start time. Over on Speed Gaming 2, there'll be a Celeste race at 2 Eastern, and then again at 3 Eastern. On Speed Gaming 4, there'll be a Chrono Trigger race at 3 Eastern, and on Speed Gaming 3, there'll be a Super Metroid plus a Link to the Past randomizer race starting at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts from the two of you?
No, I don't think so. No, this was a good race. Even with a lot more drama than unexpected drama for today, I think.
How many hands did LK get?
He had 2 as well.
2 hands each.
At least I missed the longest one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he fought the first one and the second one, and you fought the second one and the third one.
Yeah.
No great RNG.
But yeah, great runs coming out from both of you guys. Appreciate you guys doing this race, and thanks to Pro A for doing the co-commentary here. Always a pleasure with him, and again, shout out to Speed Gaming for putting this on for us. They do a great job, and especially when sometimes we do some last-minute changes, so we appreciate that.
And give our runners a follow if you haven't already. And hell, give us a follow too. You know, lot of Mario 3 goodness to go around.
Absolutely. More Warpless for everybody. With that being said, this is going to be the end of the broadcast, guys. Hope you have a great afternoon here. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And hopefully we'll see you next time.
Absolutely. Have a good one, everybody.
Bye. Ah.